Welcome into the Pop Culture Pile Driver. I am Jason Rossi. Can be found over on Twitter at Jason D. Rossi. Most importantly, this podcast can be found at Pop Culture PD. I owe you a pantsless photo on the toilet. So, be lookout for that if you're into such things. With me, as always, my tag team partner right here in this podcast sphere. He goes by the handle of Billy D2411. Billy D, what's going on?
Hello. Kind of a lot. We'll get into it and what's on your mind, I guess. But a lot has been going on for me. I'm actually going to turn off this light because I'm starting to lose some vision in my right eye. So it's been fun.
Oh, that's awesome. What a start. Well, before we even get to that, Bill, last week, first of all, people can find us wherever you find a podcast. If you just stumbled upon us, make sure you subscribe, whether you're on Spotify, iTunes. We'd love a review, 5 stars, or is it even worth giving if you don't give 5 stars, Bill?
No, don't give it unless it's 5 stars because we really need it.
Oh, wow. You can also donate to Billy on Venmo at Billy. No, I don't know. We can also be found on YouTube. You can subscribe there. You can check out these live ones. We usually do them on Tuesdays. We're back to our Tuesday night. If wherever you're listening, appreciate you listening. Also, don't forget to like us on Facebook as part of the hashtag Dork Shared Gooniverse. That's a thing that's happening over on your Facebook. So please do get in the know. So, Bill, I guess I will say you mentioned something going on there with your eye, but what's on your mind?
The eye, it's stress related. So I get like a little halo in my eye. So if I cut down on the stress, it should go away eventually. They said it would go away eventually anyways, but it's been really hard to look at screens and work, which is 90% of my job is looking at screens. So actually, I'd say 100% of my job is looking at screens right now. I
was going to say, you're an editor right now. You're in a podcast looking at a screen. When are you not looking at a screen to do your job?
Never. Really never, unless I'm shooting, but then it's even more important to have vision because I have to focus, literally and figuratively.
All right. Well, is there anything else, or is you just going blind? Is that?
Football's back. I really enjoyed that. Some of my shots and commercials made it onto national TV inside of football games. That was a pretty proud moment for me.
Oh, dude, it was all over the place. As someone who has YouTube TV, you were literally all over the place. I saw those commercials everywhere.
Can't avoid us.
You really can't. They were everywhere. Jesse Caulfield was absolutely everywhere. So that's real cool stuff. Good for you on the professional side. For me, there were so many things that are on my mind, but you know what? I'll just say this. I don't want to give too much away, and I don't want to give any credit to last week's episode. That absolute horrid disaster of an episode about The Office. One person, it was really funny. It was more me critiquing ourselves, but we didn't really talk about The Office.
We kind of did. But it was mostly the whole thing was Fryer really got us off the rails, and I kind of enjoyed it. I mean, he's a fun punching bag.
He was something. He was a douche last week. Let's be honest, in a fun way.
So, I don't know. He took his top off without hesitation, and I know I wear tank tops a lot, but he popped it off with he was waiting for us. Also, I think to be looking good, Fryer, and then me and Keith just sandbagged him with the pasty chested, kind of chest you could eat a bowl of cereal out of. So it was kind of funny.
It's a little too much body shaming for my liking. But hey, that's just me. That's just me as the Chubs. But no, I thought honestly, there'll definitely be some more Office podcasts to come. Maybe we'll actually talk about the seasons we're talking about, because I will say this, and I will not say much more. I've started season 3 and I'm almost literally obsessed with season 1 and 2. Watched it 4 times over. Dipping my toe into season 3, a little different. And maybe
I think it might be my second or third favorite season of television that's ever existed.
Well, I'll just say for the first 3, I might see I don't know where Fryer is or where he was when he recorded last week, but I could potentially see what he meant more after those first 2 seasons, watching it 4 times over. But I'm not going. Hey, listen, I'm watching it live time. I'm not ready to dive full Fryer yet, but I will say that that first episode of season 3 is literally most uncomfortable I've ever been watching a television show, especially in 2020. That's where they go. We'll call it homosexual hunting. We'll just say.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's an incredible episode. I think all of those episodes get better and better. And then
Phil, it's not an incredible episode. You could not watch it today with a straight face or laugh. You can't laugh today.
Yeah, you can. You can laugh at anything. It's just, it might not be in good taste, but it was created at the time. So I don't really have that much of a problem with, that episode. I think it probably still airs on TV.
I would doubt it. That's just my opinion. I have no idea.
Netflix hasn't pulled the episode. It's not, obviously it's a touchy subject, but the point is to show how much of a jerk Michael is being about it. He's not embracing it. They point him out as a moron for it. And you kind of see, this is not the way to talk about these things.
Sure. Well, speaking about pulling episodes, Hulu also hasn't pulled the X-File episode where they basically give away, like, it's 9/11 before 9/11, which is a whole weird story we could talk about another time. It could be an episode down the road. But nonetheless, Bill, I'm going to give you a quick Rossi Wrestling minute. This time, it's kind of right up your alley. It happened about 2 weeks ago. The PWI Top 500 came out.
Oh, boy.
Did you see who was number one?
No, if it's Seth Rollins, I'm going to get up and leave.
It's not Seth Rollins. It's not. But who would also give you that kind of feel? And you go, oh, boy.
Oh, fucking Johnny Moxley?
John Moxley coming in as your number one wrestler for the 2019 half in 2020.
Why? Like, he's not that good of a wrestler. He's a pedestrian wrestler. He gets the job done in the ring. Has he added new moves? Is he still doing the same shitty moves? Same shitty moves, I can tell.
I wouldn't say, he doesn't do the bounce off the rope thing anymore.
Thank God.
I will say this. I do not think he is the greatest in-ring wrestler. I think he brings a lot, obviously, to AEW, and it's a magazine to sell. So if you put another WWE guy on the cover, it's not as cool. What has been the big hip thing this year? It's AEW.
Yeah, well, then put fucking, what's his name on there? The greatest wrestler in the world. Why can't I think of his name?
Kenny Omega?
Kenny Omega. Is he just not doing anything there?
Kind of not. Well, right now he just got done through his tag team run. Eventually, now he's going to go on a singles run. We'll see. But I just found it interesting that he was the number one wrestler, and I knew you'd get a kick out of that. It's something we haven't talked about in the past few weeks.
Why don't we make Gordon Hayward the number one player in the fucking NBA too? Jesus.
Well,
or Daniel Tice. People who like Daniel Tice.
Oh, Bill, Daniel Tice.
Dude, his plus minus in that series was terrible. He's not.
We're going off course.
He's a pedestrian basketball player. He's a warm body. He's fine.
I'm bringing it back. It back. Don't fryer us this week. All right, we did that last week. All right, Bill. We have ourselves a topic today. We have ourselves some guests today. It is part of the Pop Culture Pile Driver September Sweeps. We're bringing in from the Macagoo podcast. He is the Mac. We didn't accept the goo again. We already got rid of the goo. So we will bring in Mr. Mac. Mac, how you doing?
Great. I'd like to chime in here and say Gay Witch Hunt is one of the best episodes of television of the last 20 years. Easily.
Thank you.
Easily.
Man who knows what he's talking about.
We're also going to bring in man who twitches on the reg, the muscle of the hashtag Dork Shared Gooniverse. And you don't have to guess which muscle I'm talking about. It's Dr. Joe. Joe, how are you?
I'm doing well, guys. How are you doing?
Good. Also, first time Dr. Joe on the podcast.
I feel special.
I think it's going to be like everybody's first time except Mac and Davey, right? those are our only previous guests.
Well, I was trying to make him feel good. I was trying to start off on the right foot. But yeah, either way. Well, gentlemen, today, besides awkward episodes of The Office that literally made me cringe, we are talking about the top 11 fast food items. And I'll be honest, I made my list before I saw any of yours. We are all over the place.
I would have assumed that because Joe sent me his list like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I have a lot of these, but none in like nearly the order, and a lot that he didn't even come close to, which isn't a bad thing.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I guess I would first start with our guest day. Like, when you made your list, was this based on your favorites, or was it stuff that you like have more like? Are these things you would order today? Like, not necessarily in the 15 that we did. We did top 15, narrowed it down, put points. We'll get to it. But were these things like you're ordering on the reg, or were these just like fond memories of like, oh, if I could go back and get that, or if I had $2 to my name and that's all I could get, this is what I would get. Joe, I'll start with you.
My top 8 is something that I order regularly. This is like my meat and potatoes. When I go out and get fast food, I'm going to one of these places. I'm getting one of these items. The bottom half of the list is a little bit more nostalgic, things I, maybe used to love and haven't gotten so much recently. But I feel like, to me, this is a fairly accurate personal list for me.
What about you, Mac?
So I basically threw a bunch of things on a list and didn't number them at first and played that game. Okay, I like this more than these two. I'll move that up. And to begin the thing, I had Oreo McFlurry very high because that dominated, 10 years of my life. That was my frozen treat go-to. And at the end of the list, or at the end of making the list, wasn't even in my top 15. I was like, I haven't had one in probably 10 years. How could I justify putting it on the list? So that's kind of how I did it.
Well, maybe that's a spoiler for what's to come, but I did it the same way Mac did. That's how I always do these lists. Like right now, we're working on something for the Dorktober situation, and I am having an impossible time ranking things. But I usually just throw, here's my favorites, move one up, move one down. I literally get in arguments with myself making my own list. And then you guys are chiming in. We have a separate chat about, does this count? Does that count? And it gets me all boiled up. But yeah, we'll get into it in just a second. But Bill, the way we did this was we said,
you don't want to hear how I did it?
Don't care. The way
I did it was good though. I got drunk and got a case of the munchies alongside of that, and then I started to be like, all right, what do I want right now? And I started going through Uber Eats and picking the items, and that's how I made it.
That's science right there.
Yeah,
it really
honestly,
is.
that might be the best way to do it. So now we'll know going forward.
Real life testing.
It's absolutely smacked. And then just go on. What app were you? Just random apps, or is there like
Uber Eats? Uber Eats. It had pretty much all of them. So like, if we ever do like a top 11 porn stars, that's food for thought on your research.
What would you search there? What website would you go to?
XXN Red.
Okay, all right, that's good. All right,
Furries.com.
Dr. Joe. We'll get Dr. Joe's top 11 porn sites. All right, so we said the kind of small criteria for this was it has to be something you step in the door, you go up to the counter, you order, and you can be eating within 5 minutes. Some of these may have a few minutes extra, but that's the basis, and I think that was a fair assessment of what quote unquote fast food is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, there are a couple borderline ones, but I think that's the best way to encapsulate all of these sorts of restaurants is that sort of 5 or 6 minute window there.
Yeah,
now,
generally if they have a drive-through, it should count.
That's a good point. So here's the funny. Do you guys want to know some of the restaurants that did not make the list, or should we save it and just get into it? You get to choose as guests.
Yeah, let's hear some of the restaurants that didn't make the top 11.
So did not make this wonderful top 11, the most ingenious top 11, pure science top 11 is such restaurants as Kentucky Fried Chicken. Didn't make the cut.
I think like 10 years ago when Taco Bell started doing stuff because they're under the same umbrella there. Mm-hmm. KFC was doing a lot of cool stuff, and then they've sort of just fallen by the wayside. They're not innovating anymore.
The Baconator, or what was it? The McDouble, whatever.
The double down sandwich.
Oh, the double down.
That was, I think, their downfall. Since then, I don't think they've come up with anything innovative because they did that, and like they basically just had to give them away. Like they couldn't sell them.
You're just
so
giving
like come
them
in,
away.
Yeah, they're just giving them away. You just literally would come in and they'd be like, "Hey, do you want a double down?" Because we can't get rid of these things.
Plus, the problem with KFC is Chick-fil-A and Popeyes have made their way into the region,
and they do it
right.
better.
So
yeah. The other thing that's funny about the double down, people didn't realize, be like, it's so bad for you. Less carbohydrates than like 90% of the other items on most menus. Protein through the roof. But yeah, you're saturated.
Meat is the new bread.
I thought you were just going to draw a line in the sand for the double down.
I'll be honest. When it came out, you bet your ass I was getting that thing.
Oh, I had quite a few, but I also
was like,
the issue was it was like your hands were so greasy afterwards that they needed to like give you gloves to eat it with.
I'll be honest. I won't use the quote. Once time we brought our friend Billy here to the North End. We ordered stuff. He asked for a fork and a knife and was completely bashed. For that KFC double down, I fork and knifed it. I had to. I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I like looked at it. My hands were greasy from the wrapper. I was lost.
I don't know. You ever seen one by itself? It's not for me.
So other places, such places that I don't think we're going to get there, like Long John Silver, which have any of you ever been to a Long John Silver?
I've never even seen a Long John Silver.
I have been to a Long John Silver, but like during a road trip, it was like the closest thing by like 10 miles. Like, I guess we're getting fast fried fish for lunch today.
I think there's still one in West Roxbury, right down from where Popeyes is. It's Taco Bell, Long John Silver's duo.
Oh boy!
You mentioned it. They'll be mentioned. It was close. Taco Bell not making the cut.
No, that's not good for me.
What?
That is not good for me.
Serious?
That's a little surprising.
Wow.
I feel like it sounds like we all had them on our list.
Wow.
Taco Bell did not make the top 11.
Let me ask you a question, Rossi. Did you have any Taco Bell items on your list?
I think at least 2.
Wow.
But
So
they
we
were.
must all have 4 different items then. That's got to be it.
Yeah.
I think Joe, you had one on yours, I believe.
I did. Yep.
Low. I think we all had a medium to low, except for Mac, and we'll get to it. It could be controversial, but we'll get to it. So let's kick off this top 11. Bill, do you want me to do this, or do you have the list in front of you?
I don't have the list because I'm locked out of the link. So yeah, it's all you, buddy.
Awesome. All right. In the driver's seat, starting off number 11, McDonald's, the Egg McMuffin.
I mean, it's a classic.
It really is. So just so you guys know, some of you put like a sausage egg McMuffin. Some people, Egg McMuffin's an Egg McMuffin at the end of the day. I didn't start dicing down or overcounting. But when it comes to Egg McMuffin, Bill, it is a classic. I want to say, who had this at the highest point? It may have been Joe. Was it you, Joe? Or was it?
I had it 13.
I had it 11th.
Bill, where did you? I had it.
I did not have an Egg McMuffin on there. I think we
then.
might get to mine, but it's a classic. I had worked actually at Dunkin' Donuts for a long time in my stay as a high schooler, and I will say I don't get bacon from anywhere anymore. Unless it's a real restaurant, because I see how the bacon is made, and it's disgusting.
Don't do that.
So I'm always a ham guy.
Okay.
Well, that's why on my list specifically, I put sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin, because I think that's way better than their bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffin.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something about the McMuffin and the sausage patty in particular that I actually like more than the McDonald's burgers. I would prefer to have sausage, egg, and cheese than a McDonald's burger.
I'm with you, Mac. For a little while during my wild fat 20 days, I used to go there and get a cheeseburger, tell them not the burger, but the sausage patty.
Smart move. That's
Spicy.
smart move.
It has a nice little spice to it.
It's just juicier.
Ooh, baby, talk slow to me. But also the other thing.
You ever seen one by itself?
The thing about the Egg McMuffin too, now they've turned it into like it's a real egg, as you guys have seen advertising over the last 10 years. Makes you question what it was before, right? And it was always perfectly circular. That was the thing I never understood. This egg was the perfect circle.
Again, I think they crack a real egg at McDonald's. That's why they're one of the better ones. But the other ones, like Dunkin' Donuts and all that, it's just like it literally
frozen.
It's like not only frozen, it's not a real egg. Like it's not from a chicken. It's like from a factory.
Comes out of a carton.
Yeah. So you've never seen that commercial, like that infomercial where they have like the thing you put the egg in and it just like cooks it, like it's like a little thing you put on your stovetop. It's not like innovative. You could just
you could make that.
Too.
You could make a perfectly circular egg at home for sure.
Fun fact: they use ostrich eggs.
Really? Nice.
No.
You know what? And you know why? Because ostriches are badass. All right, coming in at number 10. I'll give you the points on these. From Burger King, the Rodeo Cheeseburger.
Wow, this was my one.
This was my
one.
This was my 3. Like this is my top 3.
Wow.
It was not on Mac or Joe's list.
So this has a long history with our group of friends.
I do like a good rodeo cheeseburger. And this was one of those ones that was on the list and was not super high to start, but just kept getting bumped down. This was one 10 years ago that might have been 1, 2, or 3 for me, but I haven't had one in forever. And I don't know if it's the lack of quality Burger Kings in my area, but almost every time I leave Burger King, I'm like, man, I really did not enjoy that meal. Like just getting worse while the other places seem to be at least holding steady.
So their fries have taken a nosedive. Their fries are almost useless. I would never get their fries. If I'm going to get Burger King, I'll probably drive by a McDonald's and get their fries on the way home. But the Rodeo Cheeseburger, like if I ever go to a party of yours, I'm bringing these as little cut up pieces as like an appetizer. So I cut them up into 6 and I put little toothpicks in them and I bring them to every party that I go to. We also, in our group of friends, like one day we were like, oh, what do you guys want? We're going to get food to come to the party. And there was just like a bag of burgers. So we literally got like 20 Rodeo Cheeseburgers and 20 Whoppers. And it just became a thing.
So that happened one time. We were actually over your house, Bill. It wasn't a lot of us, by the way. It was like 3 people watching wrestling. And I said, I'll pick up a bag of burgers. I looked in my wallet. I had $20. So I literally drove up to Burger King, went to the drive, said, how many Rodeo Cheeseburgers can I get for $20? They didn't answer. They thought it was fake. And I was like, no, literally, like how many? Because is it 18? I don't know the math. Right. And eventually they're like, we can get you 17. I'm like, are they stealing my money? But nonetheless, the bag of burgers was then developed. And Bill is telling the truth on that.
Another quick story, real quick. The day of my wedding, I got iced like 6 times. So I was a little bit loopy and probably wouldn't have made it down the aisle, which might have been a good decision if we didn't get the bag of burgers. So we got a last-minute bag of Burger King burgers. You probably know the story better.
This was not a bag, Bill. This is me and our buddy Gillette. Called Burger King on the phone. We pooled $247 together. And we said, we have $247. We did the math. We did the tax. We said, it was, oh my God, now I can't remember. But it was over 50 different like items of things because it wasn't all just burgers. And no, it was more than that. It was like 100. It was 100 items. And we said, got hung up on. Called back. Same voice. I was like, hey, this isn't a prank. I want to just call ahead because are we hung up? We had to go to the Burger King. I had to go inside, speak to a manager, prepay, like give them the money before even placing the order, before they started the production on these burgers. It took 38 minutes for them to make over, I think it was 112 items or so. And we got this. It was at Bill's wedding. There was about like 20 of us.
16 groomsmen I had.
But there was other men in the room with us, and we housed all this food. No more than 90 minutes before this ceremony when you eat a feast at any wedding like you do.
Wow. Well, I would love to hear that
Holy
story
smokes.
from that manager's perspective.
Oh, dude,
Like
he
I
was
had
not
these
happy.
fucking guys in tuxedos come in and order 75 rodeo cheeseburgers.
And
You have
honestly,
to carry him in a fucking body bag.
no, so that's a good question, Joe. They had to give us, I don't know if you guys
A
ever worked on
laundry
this.
basket.
There's like lettuce boxes that are like extensive, like moving boxes. And they had to put in that. We had to put in the back seat of the car.
Oh,
And
wow.
there was no bags. They didn't give us bags.
Yeah.
Because they were like, we're not wasting it because it's going to be like 15. But the rodeo cheeseburger, there it is, coming in number 10. But a question, pop quiz for you, fine folks. Do you know the origin or what movie debuted the rodeo cheeseburger as part of their promotion?
Just going to guess that it's
don't
City
know
Slicker.
that.
City Slickers.
Oh.
No.
I do remember for a while there, this
kids
is one of
movie.
those things you could order that wasn't on the menu. And so what you'd order it in front of someone that had never ordered it before, and they'd be like, what the fuck is that? Like, dude, you
Secret
gotta
menu.
get one. You gotta get one.
So this came from a children's movie. It was a stop motion, half live action, half stop motion.
No
That
idea.
rings-
That doesn't help.
James and the Giant Peach?
Good guess. It was not. It was Small Soldiers.
Oh.
I remember
So,
seeing
like,
that.
The main G.I. Joe dude. Like I'll never forget this commercial. He's like smoking his cigar or whatever, and he's like,
Right,
gotta get.
that's right.
He's like, on my cheeseburger, I like an onion ring and barbecue sauce. And like, there's no such thing. Go to Burger King to get a rodeo cheeseburger. There you go.
I thought when you said stop motion, I was thinking like claymation. So I thought I was thinking like Requiem for a Tuesday from like Parks and Rec or something.
Like that. Up next, coming in at number 9. This was a duel, so I gave the edge, but it was spicy nuggets from Wendy's. I'll be honest, I'm a regular nugget guy, so I kind of combined it, to be honest. So there's controversy there, I feel like. But
All right.
a lot of
think-
you love the spicy stuff.
I think of the big three, McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. Wendy's has the best nuggets. They're
Hands down.
the smallest nuggets, but that's probably because it's real or better meat. But their spicy nuggets, I can just fire down my gullet. I fucking love these, and they pair so well with their ranch sauce. It's a great combination.
Ooh.
I don't even know how many I could eat if I sat down, in 20 minutes or whatever. But they are probably my favorite nugget.
Okay.
Wow, I've never thought about dipping them in the ranch sauce. That's why you're a cagey vet.
So we and Mac discussed this in our chat the other day, the Door Shared Universe chat, and I think that ranch and blue cheese cut anything spicy just like not enough to take away from it, but just enough to like kind of perfectly do it. I really can't do the spicy too much anymore, but I do love a good spicy chicken nug. And with Mac, I don't know, like if I'm drunk and you get me the 40-piece chicken nugget from McDonald's,
Bill, do you have a problem?
there's a chance I could eat them all.
I think I could. I really think I could.
So,
What's my
Okay.
problem, Rusty?
well, you mentioned being drunk several times. I'm just getting a little concerned. You've been hit by a car. You're going blind.
Mhm.
I'm hoping one of the Joe. You're still kind of a free agent podcast. Might need you to permanently co-host once Bill kicks the bucket. 2020's taking a lot of us. But yeah, see, to me, the Nuggets. I agree with Mac. I was OG when I was a kid. The Burger King Nuggets were my scene because they were also had a little like of that like spice to it. They were like different. They almost looked like tenders. I just remember as a kid, they felt like an event when I was going to
peppery.
Burger King. Yeah, they were excellent.
They were
Then-
great, and they also had the
Soggy
curly
though.
fries. Their old fries were better. I don't know who got their hands on Burger King and made them worse, but they made them worse.
They really did.
Yeah, the kingdom fell far. But yeah, the Nuggets to me, I agree. Like if 40 piece, I think I could do it. I think I could take down 40.
I got a buddy who fancies himself an eater. He's not a big guy, but him and another friend tried to eat 60 in an hour, and he got 53.
Holy smokes.
53. But he was like, I couldn't move for a day. That was it. That was it for me.
Well,
Yeah,
it's like
Bill,
a supersize me guy. He got a clinical depression from eating it every day.
Bill, were you there the night at John Brewer's when me and Pat had like 70 of the boneless? Well, it was like bone-in wings.
Yeah.
Which is a little easier, I think, because it's not as much. That was bad. That was the next day. I was locked to the throne. We'll just say, because that your body can't handle that kind of food. It's just not good. All right, so spicy nugs coming in from Wendy's, coming in at number 9. Number 8, and this is a funny one. This all, by the way, these 3 all had 24 points. I don't do the math and goo. We don't do a division. We just add up. But this one came in, and it went with this one because Bill in his rankings put any burger from McDonald's, but also in his list,
like
much
the
lower down.
Or the burger, like not the Big Mac. Like they're all kind of the same.
But you also had Big Mac on your list.
But that's a different kind of burger than just a McDonald's burger. I think like the Quarter Pounder and like the regular cheeseburger are all kind of like the same family.
Okay.
Yeah,
anyways,
definitely.
number 8 is the Quarter Pounder with cheese. You could sans the cheese if you prefer, but I think with McDonald's you need the cheese. I don't like the burger by itself. It's just bleh, to me.
Who's having a burger without cheese? I mean, anytime I accidentally get one without cheese, like if I'm not home and I don't have my own cheese, I'm depressed. It's like not. It's
I'm
not
like, I take one bite and it's got no cheese. I'm like, this isn't for me. Someone else can have this. The homeless guy can have this. I'm not eating this.
Even the homeless guy would be like from the Seinfeld.
Sorry,
dude.
He's a day
old. The Muppets. Yeah. The tops. This is a burger without cheese?
We tried to sprinkle some day olds on top, but they did. They did.
Personally, the only McDonald's combination of a burger I like is the Quarter Pounder with cheese, but I get the double Quarter Pounder. Double QPC, no onions is my order. I'm a fan of it, but again, I would prefer the sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin over their burgers.
Oh, wow.
So the muffin.
I go the 2 cheeseburger meal when I'm really like feeling it.
Yeah.
Next day, like hangover cure type of thing.
Again, I'm noticing a trend.
Had myself a QBC today.
That was part of, Joe was dropping knowledge there on Twitter, doing his research, as you call it. So hopefully you can expense that meal in your taxes at the end of the year.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Now, was this
off?
Now, was this a family thing? Was this like the Swaggins involved? Who was this? Or is this just you getting food for yourself? And
No, this is Swaggins had a play date with former Boxers podcaster Wes and his little son. So on the way home, Swaggins was having a bit of a meltdown. So I said, I know what will cure that. 6-piece snug with some sweet and sour sauce and a QPC for the doc.
So let me get this straight. When Bill is drunk, he gets this. When your daughter is having a little temper tantrum, go to the same thing.
Yeah, why not?
Girl.
They're both about the same thing, right?
I have a question to ask you before I want to before this talking point. Is there another McDonald's burger higher on the list?
Let me just double check. I almost forgot. No.
Okay, so I will say about the Big Mac. The very first time I had a Big Mac, life-changing experience. Because number one, like my mom wouldn't let me order like value meal things when I was a kid. I had to get the bullshit kids menu. And then I remember I must have been 11 or 12. She let me order a Big Mac. And it made me so happy just to order it. And then I realized it's got 3 pounds of lettuce on there. I don't want this. I like this.
A salad. It's become a salad. You're like, what happened? I agree with you, Mac. When I wasn't allowed to have it because I don't think it was my parents wanted me to have a kid. Well, it might have been they wanted me to stay on the kids end. They also probably didn't want me to gain another 50 pounds that I did like from like 4th to 5th grade. Like, hey, fatty, like, we're gonna Big Mac already? I don't know about that. How about that single cheeseburger? But I remember when I first had it, I used to think it was like I was like an adult. That was like a beer to me. I was like,
it really was. It really was. Like the first time I had it, I'm with Mac. I felt like I was doing something.
It's all it's that packaging they put together for it. Because when you're a kid, it's all wrappers, right?
Right.
And there was that unboxing, almost like that clamshell. You think you're getting engaged to a burger. That really is a feeling.
Tall, you know,
it was so big, especially in your little kid hands. You had to like just cup it almost to eat it.
And you're right. It is like you like open. You're like, oh my god, except for there is 2 bottom buns, which put another top bun at the bottom. Let's get funky with it, so you can eat it both ways.
Would be interesting.
I never understood
like a UFO.
Yeah.
2 quick stories that I'll just combine into one. So I used to do scavenger hunts with like 150 items on the list, and some of them would be like videotape ones. But one of them was you had to eat a Big Mac in less than a minute, and I didn't realize how easy that actually was for some people. Like some people just downed it. The all-girl teams, one of them struggled. One of them was like the fastest, which I was very impressed by. And then another thing we did was
got her number.
No.
It's next wife, actually.
Yeah. Another thing that I did was I put breakfast stuff on there before you could get breakfast anytime. So the only teams that got it were the girls because they were able to like finagle with the 16-year-old pimply counter. And the last quick story, because this is amazing. We also had you had to buy a Boston cream donut at the counter of Dunkin' Donuts and then smush it into your face and record it. So one of the girls read it wrong and had some poor 16-year-old kid, and she was like, "I need to smush this in your face," and he's like, "Okay." And he let her do it.
Oh my god!
I should have saved those
That's
videos.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's so good.
So that's from the OG scavenger hunt, the one I wasn't involved. You did keep the Big Mac under a minute in the one I was involved in, and I thought I could do it. I'm like, yeah, watch this. I almost died. I almost choked because when you have a clock next to you and you're like, okay, so the first couple bites you're making your way through. Then I'll never forget, Mac, you mentioned the lettuce, and let's be honest, the lettuce gets a little wilty and a little almost slimy. So I'll never forget this moment. I was midway through and I only had 20 seconds left. So I start just jamming it in all Joey Chestnutty. And there's a piece of lettuce stuck between my throat, going down my throat and on my tongue. And I literally thought, this is how I'm dying. And I'm reaching in, but my hands are all fat and I'm couldn't reach out. It was disturbing.
It's just stuck, flat.
Yes. You know that feeling, right? When there's that stuff and by meaning to say, I did not accomplish that one, and we quickly moved on. Speaking about moving on, we'll get to number 7 here on the top 11 fast food items. This one I thought honestly would be higher because I originally had it way up, and I'm interested where Mac and where you guys settled on this one early, the way you stacked, or Billy, how many drinks you had at the time. This one right here is a home run. Maybe one of the best fast food items there is. Clearly it made the list. Number 7, hash browns from McDonald's.
Ooh, so
these are
yeah, I have this at number 5, and initially, and I go back and forth on this with their fries. Some days the hash browns are just straight up better than their fries. I don't know if they get a special chef in the back that's a hash brown guy. But what I like about the hash browns is even a half hour later, they're still fucking really good. Whereas the fries have a 6-minute window where you got to eat them. But these are super, super high on my list. And it pairs so well with the sausage, egg, and cheese, especially if you're hungover in the morning or late night. It's just an unbelievable combination.
I love the hash browns from McDonald's. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, sorry. This is one of those ones that just absolutely slipped my mind. This would have been on my list 100% had I thought. I'm so used to when I go to McDonald's, I get my breakfast and it's just there. It's not something that I would just order. And, oh, man, I'm pissed I left this one off my list.
It is the ultimate.
Skyrocketed, Joe. You could have skyrocketed it.
I think it's the ultimate breakfast fast food item. I get this every time that I go there in the morning, a nice cup of coffee and one of these. And Mac's right. Sometimes the inside is that perfect amount of flakiness where you just pull it apart and you can see individual. It almost looks like shards of glass as they just spill out.
No, it looks like the Sonic. It looks like Sonic Ice.
It does. Yeah. It does.
It really does. It's
crystallized
so good.
potato.
I remember we were on a trip to Florida one time, and I got a bag full of these for the house, and only 2 people liked them in the house, and I was like, I really need to reconsider my friend group.
Oh yeah.
No, you don't like hash browns from McDonald's?
Right.
I spent
originally you could get 2 for $1. Then at some point they wised up to it. Now they're $1.49. It's horseshit.
And I'll be honest, they could charge $5. I probably
supply and demand.
It's true.
I'll eat these till the day I die.
And when they had Monopoly, each hash brown had a piece on it. So it was actually just a smart move.
Yeah. Yeah, the only downfall of these things is taking a bite and having it burn the roof of your mouth. Because they come right fresh. Oh.
Because it's the first thing you're going to, especially if you're in a drive-thru, you're not reaching over and taking that, bacon, egg, and cheese or a hot cake out of the package. You're reaching in, scalding. It's your hand's burnt. Your roof of your mouth is burnt. You got to go home and go back to bed.
It is one of those things where I won't stop eating it, though. I'll just go like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then just keep eating it.
It's so true. The pain, it's okay.
100%.
By the way, I just got an email from MySpace.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah? You
Legit,
finally,
just
update to your top 8.
It says, Latasha connected to you.
Nice.
What in the world?
Sounds like she should be on Billy's Facebook or MySpace page.
I think I'll forward her over to you, Bill. But this is legit MySpace. I'm gonna go ahead and unsubscribe to that. But yeah, the other thing with this hash brown at McDonald's, I think the reason it makes it even on this list and different from anything else. When you were a kid, hash browns, home fries, this was the game changer. You go to a restaurant or an IHOP and you get home fries and these cut up potatoes would come. You're like, I guess I'll eat these because I'm gonna eat everything.
Yeah.
But like, there's something. It was special. It was almost like it's like an event, especially now you can get them all day long. And like now you go into like freezer sections of supermarkets, and they have these like oval shaped hash browns now, which still doesn't do any justice to McDonald's, but at least I think they changed the game. They're like a little original style because never seen anything like it before.
Yeah, well, to that point, there was a time when McDonald's was the only place doing breakfast. So it was like McDonald's breakfast was like, I mean, in Happy or not Happy Gilmore,
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy. Yeah, it was like that scene to a T.
9:58.
Yeah.
Again, it was a treat. It was a treat as a child.
And that really like, how crazy were they for all those years to just cut it off? Like, it was hardcore because I've missed it before, and I've been that guy driving up like 16.
You could see them rolling over the menu, and you're like, no.
I guess I'll have a Big Mac. I mean,
At 10:15, at 10:35.
Well, since I'm not getting the hash brown, I'll get a double fry. All right, coming in at number 6. This is one, I'll be honest, this is all on me. This thing probably could have been a top lister. It is the spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. This was, I believe, somebody had this at one, or maybe it was another one. No, it's both. I'm not been to Chick-fil-A. I've never been.
Never?
I've tried, and every time is either a super long line when they were new, or the whole Sunday thing. Yeah. Sunday screw me. Because when I was working, I don't know. It was just like when I had like my nephews at the time, I'd be like, oh, let's go to try this Chick-fil-A. It was at like the Burlington Mall.
And how Eagles of it is it to have a Chick-fil-A in their stadium when they play on Sundays? I know other events are held there, but it's like they don't open up for it either. It's just closed on game day. It's just like, what a piece of real estate.
So for me, I think the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches, the regular one made my list. The spicy one did not make my list.
It was a combo.
Were probably higher like 2 years ago until I got involved with the Popeyes. And now that I've had a Popeyes one and I'm constantly rating them against each other, I'm like, well, I'm never going to stop at Chick-fil-A if Popeyes is close. So this is really good, but to me, clearly the number 2 chicken sandwich.
I would put it as my number 3 chicken sandwich out of all the chains. I do like it. I feel like it's a little bit healthier, but I also, for this one, I just kind of disqualified all Chick-fil-A items, even though I like their fries, because I've never gotten a Chick-fil-A order in under like 15 minutes. It always takes a super long time. Every time I go to order.
It can be quite some time.
It's like not.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got that good one. Joe's on the inside. He's like, hey, it's Joe. I'm coming. Get that thing ready.
Well, they see a fat guy coming a mile away,
Yeah, and the same guy working that is the guy from your Burger King story, so he takes calls serious now.
Yeah, he's like, oh, not doing that again. So this was an honorable mention, and this, to me, kind of what Mac talked about with his story, and especially with Joe, like, oh, these are like nostalgia pieces. For me, I think it was I have to look at my actual list. It was in my top 5. It didn't make it. But for me, the chicken sandwich was the OG original chicken sandwich from Burger King. That like sub-looking sandwich.
That weird looking one. Yeah,
that was the best to me for the longest time. So that's like what I feel like probably this and Popeyes.
And the chicken parm one was good too.
Oh, they dressed it up for you. Remember when they tried to make it like they were like unbelievably like creative? They're like, we smeared some marinara and put a piece of cheese on it. Chicken parm. They have like the Italian like theme to it.
Yeah.
My second favorite chicken sandwich is the number 6 from Wendy's, just because I got it literally every day for probably a year straight. Sometimes 2 times a day. I was the first one with a car in high school, so every day after school, we would literally go to Wendy's, and I would get a number 6, no lettuce, and I would house that shit. Probably the reason I have badass reflux today, but I love that sandwich.
Bill cannot see out of his right eye, but he's doing good other than that. All right, so now jumping into number 5, our first creamy delight here. Mac, you mentioned it earlier. You didn't put it on your list, but everybody else did. It is the McFlurry from McDonald's. Cracking the top 5. I think it is, like, when you think of dessert items at fast food, like, I don't think there's one that even competes. Like, people can talk about the Frosty. You can take a Frosty, turn it sideways, shove it straight up your ass. And no way it competes with this thing. The McFlurry is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how to eat a Frosty. It's somewhere, the consistency is somewhere between ice cream and a liquid, and then it's no good. Where the McFlurry is like actual ice cream. And then when you watch them make it, they stick the straw to the thing and it spins around. You're like, it's a cool thing to watch. Yeah. Sometimes if you got a good employee, you could ask them to layer the Oreo because the Oreo crumbles would end up all at the top, and then when you get to the middle of the McFlurry, there'd be no more Oreo crumbles. So that was a pro move too.
So everything about it's delightful. Like everything about this, I love. And Rossi said it's probably the best cream treat at any of these fast food places. But for me, it's one of the best desserts ever. Like this is up there with like my favorite desserts of all time. Like I'm a big ice cream, a la mode, anything like a warm brownie, a warm cookie. Huge fan. Like this is right up there with it. The Oreos, one of the greatest cookies of all time, one of the greatest snacks of all time. So to make it all into one, it's delicious.
A quick McFlurry story about Goo of the Mac and Goo program. We for a while the only fast food near us was McDonald's, and it was open kind of later. One of our friends in high school used to do that thing where he'd pull away from the car when you went to go grab the handle. He'd move the car up a little bit, and Goo got sick of that all the time. So one time we were coming out of McDonald's. Goo was the last one. He was pulling away. Goo would get there. Goo would get there. Did it like 3 times, and Goo finally fired his McFlurry off the guy's windshield. The back of the car. It was fucking incredible. One of the best things I've ever saw.
That's incredible.
McFlurry trivia. Tremendous. Can you name me the 3 current flavors you could order at McDonald's?
Oh, Oreo, M&M, and I don't know the third.
Reese's.
Yeah,
Oreo is on. Well, according to their actual McDonald's website, Oreo is on there, M&M is on there, and this is kind of random, and I've never seen it before. You can throw one more stab.
Kit Kat.
Is it like a crunch?
It has crunch to it, but it's not like Nestle. It's not a candy bar per se. It's another famous dessert item.
Oh, no idea.
It would be Chips Ahoy. It says new, so take that for what it's worth. Also,
a little cookie crumble in there.
Yeah, it has the new tag, so maybe next time you go to McDonald's, you can try that. Also, you mentioned a few other ones. Can you name the other, now I guess debunked, only certain McDonald's have old flavors, but can you name the old flavor?
Heath Bar?
Praline, I'll give you that.
Praline?
Yeah, it was because they probably didn't get Heath to do it. What was that, Joe?
Szechuan sauce?
Szechuan, yep, that was there. Said the Szechuan McFlurry. That was a big popular item, especially in the Northwest. So you had Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Yeah, I thought that was one.
You had praline and cream, sure. Twix.
Ooh,
Twix. They had Twix?
They had Twix. Snickers.
Phenomenal.
They had Butterfinger. And then the most popular for a long time that nobody talks about, and a candy literally you're never going to have outside of a McFlurry, the Rolo.
Oh, I love Rolos. You ever put them on a pretzel and put them in the oven?
A Rolo McFlurry. Wow. Yeah. I'd never heard of that one either.
Yeah, the Rolo's the perfect candy to put in your belly button.
Love it. It's the perfect candy for belly shots.
It is. It is. Hey, whatever kind of night you're having.
Rolos in your lovemaking, you
got to throw it in there. All right, so we jump in now to the top 4 of the top 11 fast food menu items. Number 4 is from Wendy's, the Junior Bacon Cheeseburger.
JBC, baby.
Come on. So some people call it a JBC. Some people call it a JBCB. Either way, you can't go wrong. Especially got to add some pickles.
Yeah, JBCB add pickles minus lettuce. Where I had one this afternoon.
A lot of research done. Mac, what did you eat today? Now that I know everyone ate.
I actually had a pizza pie from Frank Pepe's.
Oh.
Which
people argue.
But what are you going to do there? JBC, I did not have on my list. Again, one that first came to mind when I was making it. But when I go to Wendy's now, I never get them. I never get them anymore. But from the ages of like 15 to 20, it's all I got because it was $1 and it was just fiscally responsible of me to get a JBC. And they were great then. They were wonderful. And then I moved on to the Baconator, which has gone downhill a lot. I don't really like the Baconator anymore, but I'm always getting the spicy nuggets at Wendy's, and I almost never get a burger there now.
Yeah, Wendy's was that one that, the square patty, it just got me. Again, I was all about, I don't know what it is. You can see I'm a shape guy, I guess. Like when things are different shapes than anything else, I'm like, oh, I got to try that. Like Wendy's, like it's square. And I've never had a square burger outside of Wendy's.
Yeah, I've never seen them before.
I don't make them at home. I don't like
shape and squares.
Yeah. Joe, next time I come over, all right, I need you to grill me up some square patties.
I'll make a nice triangle patty.
That's how Swaggins learned their shapes, is different shapes.
Yeah. Daddy, what are we grilling today? Rectangle.
Yeah. A rhombus.
But yeah, the junior bacon cheeseburger, it's just, I think it's, Mac, you did bring up the Baconator. That's like, when you're going, I think, next level. But when it comes to like a simplistic burger, this is the one to me. Like, I know, Bill, you talked about bacon and where you get it, where you don't get it. But like, this to me was like, it took over because I used to like just a plain cheeseburger from McDonald's for a long time. Burger King never really had their cheeseburger. I had Whoppers, which again, didn't make this list. Spoiler ahead. I don't think it made anybody's top 15, by the way.
Not for me.
I do like a Whopper now and then because I do like to get a little bit of the veggies in there. I would take lettuce off of any sandwich ever. Like, it's not for me. I don't want to eat the food my food eats, so that you can just throw that right the fuck out the window. But a Whopper every now and then is not bad. I do the double mayo double onion, just like a podcast friend of ours. So it is delicious, but I will go JBCB over it just because I don't know, like. To me, the more stuff you start piling on like a fast food burger, I think the less it gets,
Sure.
It's simple. 2 JBC spicy nugget fries. Boom. Every time.
See you later. That's it. I'm done. And that's only an appetizer. All right. So coming up next, now we're cracking the top 3. And this to me was the little bit of the debate earlier in our chat. But coming in number 3 is this is when also I combined, like, some people had different variations, but it is the Shake Shack burger. This, to me, so I've eaten a ton of burgers. A little history. I know I've talked about this a couple times on the podcast. We know Mac and Goo is famous for the hot dog ratings, which now is taking over Christopher Nolan's Wikipedia page. Is that still up, by the way?
No, they banned me for life from editing anybody's Wikipedia page.
Worth it. Absolutely worth it.
It is worth it. You just get a different IP address so you can get another computer. We'll figure it out. But the hot dog system, I love hot dogs. But I have been a burger guy for a long time. I used to have a burger blog. I used to try every burger for free. That's even better. And to me, to this day, it is a top 2 national chain. I know it's now gotten bigger since you started in New York, the roadside Shake Shack. This burger to me literally makes me come. This is the burger.
Talk about creamy treats.
Oh, baby. I'm telling you, this burger is everything in then. I don't know if it's like the roll is just so soft, always fresh, never had a stale even bite. And the best part about it is if you turn the burger around, turn that some bitch sideways as well, the back, it's pinched.
Oh, so yeah, the bun
it's connected. It's not 2 pieces. If you save that for the last bite with the Shack sauce in the bottom, all the grease, I'm telling you right now, if you don't get female, male, indigenous person wood, you're not a human being. You're an alien from another planet, and you can just get the hell out of here. All right, just die. I'm sorry, because that is the best bite of any piece of any item on any fast food menu there is.
Yeah, I feel so wrong for agreeing with you so much.
I'm turning the leaf, baby. It's turning around. I told you, I passed it off to Fryer. I am good now. I'm back, baby.
It is true, though. It is one of my favorite burgers of all time. I don't consider it fast food, so I didn't put it on my list, but it's like my top 2 burger of all time. I get Shake Shack. Again, you're probably going to judge me here. At least twice a week now that I can get it delivered to my house. That was the biggest win in quarantine when I looked, and it was like Shake Shack, 40 minutes. I was like, fuck yeah. One time they did forget the cheese, and I was crestfallen because I was out of cheese at my house. And I like back, I'm like, I don't even know if I want this anymore.
I'm throwing this in the backyard.
Yeah. It wasn't as good, but like the bun and like, you get a little drip. Like if you have a beard, it drips down in there. You can savor a little bit for later, last bite. I mean, it's just good stuff.
And
for the ladies.
So I think I had, in general, fast food burgers I'm a little lower on because I think the best burger you can have is one you make at home, just personal belief. But the Shake Shack burger is my favorite burger. And I was a Five Guys guy for a very long time until Shake Shack came into the area. And the first time I had it, I think it was like in that first couple months when they opened, they were kind of busy, quick. It wasn't the best thing I ever had, and it was small. So what I start doing is I order the double, and I'm perfectly happy. But what I love about their burgers is you can tell they're like freshly hand packed because they get the little crispiness on the side that like only a hand packed burger gets, and it's so it almost like caramelizes the way they cook it. Their burger is just the best burger. It's the best burger going.
And let's not sleep on the sauce. right?
Yeah.
The shake sauce. Two of the best sauces in the game is that shake sauce and then Chick-fil-A. I would sell my body for Chick-fil-A sauce. I actually had that as an item on my list.
I was gonna bring it up. That's so funny. When I saw it, it's like not even like the last one. It was like in the bottom 3.
11 or 12.
If you would drape yourself in it if it was socially acceptable.
I sure would, like velvet.
But it is true. Like this just, I don't know. It has everything going on. It's kind of, we talked about the Whopper where you got like mayonnaise, you got ketchup on there, and that blend, it's become very popular. Now they sell that. I don't even know. Was it
Mayo chip.
Mayo chip. You said that so well.
You know how like they have the Subway artists? I consider Shake Shack employees artists. I really do, because they make a beautiful burger.
A good point about the Shake Shack employees, they're always very, very pleasant. I don't know if they pay well there, if they have, it's just something they do. I have always had a good experience at Shake Shack.
No, I know why, because they eat that, they just cut the burger at the final bite. Yeah. They're just like, hey, Joe, you now work here at Shake Shack. Here's that bottom bite or that last bite of the Shake Shack burger. You're pissed off. You're mad at your girlfriend, your wife, your kid. You bite that. You're like, welcome to Shake Shack. How are you today, sir? How may I get your order? Oh, my God. It's amazing. All right, getting into the top 2 here, boys. This is getting to the nitty gritty. This is the official list. Don't go to Ranker, Ringer, or any of these other websites. Go right here. This one, again, I'm sorry. I was out on, didn't know enough. Now I know where to go. It is the everything's spicy. Chicken sandwich from Popeyes.
Oh,
I'll let you boys take this.
My number 1 with a bullet at this point in my life. I didn't have one until like, I don't know, a year ago, 8 months ago. It's the first time I ever had one because Popeyes wasn't doing the sandwiches. Only Chick-fil-A was doing the sandwiches. And they're like, shit, we got to get in the sandwich game. They come out with their regular chicken sandwich, a spicy chicken sandwich. There's something about the level of spice in Popeyes. And I think this is why I don't love spicy food. But it's like, it hurts so good. It's just spicy enough to make me want to bite again. I regret it for a second, and then like I'm back in again. I don't know what it is about the spicy chicken sandwich at Popeyes, but it's fucking. And the chicken itself isn't even that spicy, but the little spicy sauce that they add on it, it's so fucking good. It's so good. This is, and the other item that was number 2 on my list that apparently didn't make the list, Doritos Locos Nachos Cheese Taco are the only 2 fast food items I will go out of my way and drive and go get.
Huh. Joe, now this is obviously higher in your list. I know Matt wax poetic on it, but what is it about you? What is the love here for the chicken sandwich from Popeyes?
Very, very similar. I mean, for me, it would have been Shake Shack would have been number 1. But right here in the Dirty D of Dedham, I am surrounded by tremendous. I've got McDonald's, Burger King, Shake Shack, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, all within a half mile to a mile radius. All very close. So, when they opened up that Popeyes, it took me a little while because the line was like onto Route 1. It was friggin' bananas. I finally got there, and mine was blown. What makes it better to me than Chick-fil-A is it is spicier, and it's a little thicker, right? It's a little bit bigger sandwich. It's a heartier sandwich, and
the bun is better than Chick-fil-A.
It's got good crunch. It's a perfect spicy chicken sandwich. I do like the Chick-fil-A sauce a little bit better, but pro move, go to Popeyes, get the spicy chicken sandwich with extra pickles and the sweet tea and the Cajun fries.
So, I mean, you're speaking my language here. Thick buns. I mean, I love this sandwich. It is so good. I remember I ordered it twice in one day before. Recently, during quarantine was the first time I had it because people were getting stabbed over it at one point when I tried to get it.
It's true. It's so true.
I got it a bunch. Again, I can't eat too much spicy stuff anymore, but this is the bullet that I will spend on a spicy sandwich. Everything, the way they do it, like you can put pickles for me on just about anything. You put it on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I'll eat it with pickles. But the way they do the pickle, the sauce, and the flakiness of their chicken. This is why they smoked KFC, because the way they batter and fry their chicken, it's just, I don't want to say like I feel good after it, but I feel better than when I eat KFC. Like the Death of Eric Cartman episode where they think he died because he ate all the chicken. Like that's how I feel after a KFC piece of chicken. And this I don't feel as bad. I had it twice in one day.
Yep.
all that's, all the seasonings, KFC put all those years of marketing and it's right down the drain. All right, Mac, you did mention the taco. So the thing was, it was hard for me with Taco Bell because I think all of us had different items on the menu, but they just weren't really like the same. Like Mac, your number 2 was that Doritos Locos taco. I had
I could eat 20 of them.
I just had like a taco supreme. To me, it was like OG, like loved it. It was with the sour cream. Again, when I was a kid, it was like leveling up.
You gotta pay the extra 30 cents for the sour cream or whatever it is.
Yeah, and then I believe Joe, you had the Crunch Supreme.
Crunch Wrap Supreme.
Oh, that's a huge one for me too.
Yeah. I almost put Mexican pizza on mine. I don't even know if that's on the menu anymore.
They just hold it.
Oh.
So when I go to Taco Bell, it might be my favorite fast food restaurant. I spend about $20 to $25 on just a personal order from me, which is like it's a boatload of food.
You got to get like a grab bag of sorts.
I get everything. That's the thing. I get a shredded chicken burrito. I get at least 1 or 2 soft shell tacos. I get 1 or 2 chicken quesadillas, and I will get a Crunch Wrap Supreme now. So and I'll eat all of it. Like if I'm having a bad day, that's where I'm heading.
We got to start writing letters or calling congressmen. There's no fucking Taco Bells near me. There's one in the Cambridge Side Galleria. There's one at Four Corners in Woburn. There's one on Route 1. And they're all like inconveniently far away from me. It's such a pain in the dick to go to Taco Bell.
I was going to say, move anywhere outside of where you are. Everywhere.
You can go literally Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Burger King, Popeyes, Taco Bell, all within a half mile.
There's a Taco Bell in Everett that I frequent, and the line at night gets like ridiculously long. It's right across.
Over by the stadium there. Yeah,
it's like a club though. Yeah. That used to be where all like souped up cars. It was like Fast and the Furious. People would literally order and like hang out there.
That's a weird intersection of neighborhoods that come together right in that spot.
Yeah, you got Chelsea,
Everett.
Yeah. Everett, Malden's not too far down the road.
That's where I find most of my ladies.
Yeah.
Dangling tacos out the side of the car.
Tacos, Wendy's, and Popeyes.
And Bill strolls up wearing his tank top, playing WAP. Just like, hey, what's up, ladies? Guys are looking for. I will say the funny thing about Taco Bell with Bill, you said you spend like $20. A former roommate, I don't think you ever crossed paths with him roommate-wise, Bill, but our buddy Gillette, I don't know if Kevin's still in the chat, he can vouch. He used to always be the guy who got free stuff at when he would order things. I don't know if you guys have that friend who would be oh, I ordered 2 pizzas, but they just gave me 5. I don't know. I'm like, you ordered 5 pizzas.
Yeah, I ordered 5 pizzas.
Yeah, my fat ass is still going to eat them. Don't worry. Yeah. And he did this once at Taco Bell when they were doing they did kind of, I think it was the Nacho Supreme, and then they did Cool Ranch and the 2
Party
Doritos.
Packs.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, box tacos.
He said he got 1. He ordered 1, and they gave him 2. I'm like, bro, if you want to eat 15 tacos, I could give 2 craps less.
Go for it. Yeah.
Just eat them. But he would and this happened like once a month or so. And he would just show up with all this food and he'd be like, yeah, they gave me a bunch of stuff. It's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I can get you the receipt. I threw it away. I can get you it. And I'm like,
he's a tall, dark, handsome man. They could give him some free stuff.
But Bill, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
No one claimed it, so I took it.
Yeah,
he was
exactly.
once at the hottest girl in high school's house swimming, but he said he was helping his dad with stuff, and we needed the stickball stuff out of his car. And we were like, Gillette, we can see you. Can you just get the stickball stuff for us? We know you're not helping your dad.
Yeah. Now we're just calling him out. Also, that reminds me of the story when Bill was with a girl in this in your mid-20s, like early 20s. And me and 2 of our buddies, we like hunted them down. We stalked them, and we'll just say, I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible, even though I already used.
We were just wrapping up.
We'll just say, I think there was some oil checking going on, and they were checking the dipstick as well.
They had just finished making a Crunch Wrap Supreme.
They sure were. They just had to fold it. And they were in a car in front of her house, and we just kept driving by. But the way we drove by, we cocked the seat back. So like if you saw the car, there was nobody in it every time. And we just kept driving by. Eventually, when it was all said and done, Bill calls us, and we just kept being like, don't answer it. And he's like, voicemails for all of us being like, I know that was you guys. Like, I know you guys are driving by. And it didn't deter you, Bill. Didn't soften you up either, did it? Stay crunchy. Real quick, some other honorable mentions of anybody else's soft taco. We had the bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle was also could have made this list. We talked about the Burger King original chicken sandwich, which was my, I think, number 2. I think it was tough. The chicken cheese quesadilla also, I think, Bill, that might have been you.
Oh, I love it.
And one of you mentioned it as part of your order. The Cajun fries from Popeyes are the ones that just missed out on the list.
I actually had them number 4 on my list. I don't know what spice they're putting on their Cajun fries, but I'm a huge fry guy. I think I had 4 or 5 fries on my top 15. But those Cajun fries to me are almost as good as I'm assuming what our number 1 is.
Number 1 with a bullet, the McDonald's fries. Max explained it no better way than we talked about. You have to order and eat within 5 minutes. Well, this is actually mandatory. It comes on the side of the label. If you do not consume within 5 minutes, will go bad, could kill you if you try to eat it because it just gets lodged in your throat and good luck. These are the best fries. I think they may be some of the best fries like in the world, like
on the planet,
restaurants. Sure. Yeah, like there's nothing like it.
A hot salted McDonald's French fry right out of the bag, right when you're just driving away, picking them up. It is amazing. I'll always get like this on like a nice summer day. I'll get a large Coke because the Cokes at McDonald's too are better because they put extra syrup in there. So the Coke's fucking delicious. Then you get a large fry. Sometimes I will get a large fry, maybe even another large fry, maybe a small one if I'm trying to save myself, because I can go through that whole fry and be like, I want more. And like on this podcast, we don't like fry guys usually, but I am a huge fry guy.
That's my quarterback you're talking about.
We love him. I'd have them on every time.
I wouldn't, but I would have these fries any day. It's kind of like popcorn at the movie theater. Like you get it to drive. Like when you get a popcorn at the movies, it's gone midway through the trailers. If you get fries and you're on drive-through and you're bringing them home, Joe, I want to hear your experience. Like at least half of those fries are gone before you even sit down at home.
Oh, so McDonald's has given me an eating tick when it comes to fast food. So I'm so used, you're driving, I take the fries, I put them in the cup holder, and I eat them first. And then, I grab the burger and eat the burger. So now whenever I'm eating like a burger and fries, I always eat the fries first, no matter what. And then I get to the burger. And it's a tick I've developed, and it's because, you're driving, but those fries are so good, but you do have to eat them quick because a cold McDonald's French fry may be the worst thing to eat on the planet.
That's pretty bad. And I love the little move you got to make when there's only a little bit left and the carton has the 2 holes at the bottom, and you try to balance it so you get all that last salty goodness. And when you lose a fry out of the hole, it's a terrible experience. It's the worst.
And then you never find it in your car.
It's gone forever.
And then you find it.
It's the same feeling. Have you ever dropped like a fruit snack of like a really small pack on the ground? And you're just like, there's only so many. Like that hurts. I needed that.
I've never understood the contraption of the McDonald's fry package. Why do we have holes in the side of something that like it's not for a burger? It's not for something that like, okay, that's not like fries are going to slip through there. Salt. It's a mess. Like every McDonald's bag. Like what are we doing here? But
I do the napkin underneath and then put that in the cup holder. That's what I do.
Pro tip. Yeah. I also think that you have to order 2. Like you guys talked a lot about ordering double stuff. Like you have to order 2 fries. If you're getting fries, like because I have those road fries and then there's when I eventually have my meal fries.
I mean, I will 100% like I won't lie to your face. Still, if somebody's like, "Did you eat some of my fries?" Yes. Like if you send me out to get you McDonald's, I probably need to get like 4 fries for just 2 people because I will eat your fries and then I'll do the move where I try to even it out and make it look like I didn't eat it.
Well, my move was always, especially. I had a friend who got his license like a year ahead of everyone. So he was always driving. He'd be in the driver's seat. So when you get the drive-through order, you get passed over. I'm in the passenger seat. And I would claim the bag fries. So listen, I'm taking the bag fries. I don't care if they might have fallen out of your thing. However many fries left at the bottom, those are mine.
That's why you call shotgun right there. Yeah. It's like, I don't care about where I sit. I don't want to squish in the back either, but I get those bag fries.
I got yelled at by Swaggins driving home because we're 10 minutes from the house and I'm driving. She's in the back seat and I'm reaching to the bag, eating her French fries out of the Happy Meal box. And she's like, "Dad!"
You talk about your food tick. You're giving this poor girl therapy in the future.
Right. My dad ate my fries as a child.
Yes, that's going to be like a new book.
That's the job of a dad is to eat your kids' food.
You got to make sure they're not poisoned.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
I don't know much about being a dad. I'm early in the stages, but I believe the keys are eating your child's food in general, like making sure they get like adult meals and then eating it, and then always saying maybe because it's just they can't hold it against you.
Ask your mother. That's just
there you go.
Ask your mother. What'd your mother say? Right? Those will get you out of almost any jam.
Well, there you go. Any complaints about this list? Any thoughts that you think I know we talked honorable mention, all of our lists combined. We went from the scale of 1 to 15, added them up. Anything you think people will look at this and be like, how did they miss on this? Or why is this where it is?
I think it's a fairly accurate list, except for the Taco Bell.
I'm a little sad no Taco Bell item made the list, but at least we all showed our love for Taco Bell.
I think it's because it was a scatter shot, right? Because we all had too much from there. And I think that speaks to why it's one of the best ones, because there's so many things that I will get there. Like, there's no, like, I'll get like a couple of go-tos, but like I never just want to get 6 of one thing because all of it's pretty good. Also, they have, I think they got rid of them because I can't find them anymore. Those like Cinedot things with like the loaded like little stuff inside of them. Those are fucking awesome. Like the cinnamon balls.
They had that for whatever reason. Taco Bell had that thing on the counter when you were waiting. You could drop the coin in. It was the only place that had that. And I fucking loved playing that game.
Oh, yeah.
Never won anything. You drop the coin, you get it to try to land on the ledge. I could never do it.
No one can. That's just stealing your money.
Yeah, I remember actually one time, it wasn't me. I was at the restaurant when someone got it and they got a free like Choco Taco.
That to me would have been like seeing a hole in one live. Like seeing someone land a coin, it would have been unbelievable.
I would say a hole in one's hotter.
Yeah.
No, because I've heard of it happening.
No, there was 3 tiers. There was like a kind of decently sized circle. There was a medium sized circle, and then there was one that could like a dime could like barely fit on. Yeah. And they didn't hit that one. They just hit the big one. Yeah, they got a free Choco Taco. I'm like, wait, why are we getting Choco Tacos? Give me like something. Give me an item.
Churros. Those little Taco Bell churros were delicious.
I've seen somebody win that brick game you see at the movie theaters where they have like PlayStations and fucking iPods in there, like legit prizes, and like you can't win a fucking an ice cream at Taco Bell.
Oh man! All right, so that will do it for this one here, Bill. I know you're locked out, so I'll have to go through what's going on. But actually, we can ask some of the people here. But this is what's going on this week in the Dorkshire Gooniverse. Dork did their recap or re-review, I guess you have to call it, right, of Tony Hawk Parts 1 and 2, which I'm still a little confused by that. So it's the first 2 games. Is it one game and you pick which game you go to? Like,
no,
have you guys
so
played
it's just 2 Tony Hawk. It's just 2 games. So it's got, you can play Tony Hawk 1 and go through all the levels of Tony Hawk 1. And then when you're done that, you can go and play Tony Hawk 2, go through all the levels. And then it's got some online stuff to play as well.
Ooh, little hand stuff. I like that. All right, so they talked about that. Obviously, you can see how far I got in that episode. Also, our friends at Change My Mind did a Multiverse Madness, talking about all the different movies with their multiple universes, just like this universe that we're living in right now. Bill, do you know what Mac and Goo did this week?
I think they did the 1986 classic Aliens.
Okay. Yeah,
don't ask Mac.
I don't think he was on that episode.
I told Goo that I was like, I got like an hour window to record, and I can't do any prep. So do whatever you want. I can show up though.
That was one of my favorite episodes of all time.
Yeah, we did. We did basically one big Mac sack to celebrate our Manscaped sponsorship, and he just rattled off Mount Rushmores of things.
Speaking of which, you just bought the underwear today.
I'm wearing them right now. Incredibly comfortable.
Prove it.
No pee-pee hole, but incredibly comfortable.
What do you mean no pee-pee hole?
There's no thing to part the C's and have your
like a lot of
did you ever use that anyways?
Pull it up. Yeah, I don't.
If I'm wearing basketball shorts, I'd fucking just pull it out anyways. But like if you get wearing jeans, it could be an issue.
Okay, interesting. Now underwear, good. We feel it. Did it help the boys downstairs?
So I've never like shelled out for expensive underwear. It's just not something that I've ever done in my life. I get the 3-pack or the 5-pack from Target or whatever, and now I'm like addicted. I'm gonna have to start buying these underwear or underwear like this forever. That's my fear. It's like I'm not wearing anything, and it's so comfortable.
See, I don't want to experience that because I can't. Like, I don't have that comfort of lifestyle where I can just shell out money. I'm like you. I go to Target, I get the Fruit of the Looms boxers, and I get probably 1 pack a year. I'm kind of like trying to get to the George Costanza level. I probably have like 60 pairs of underwear, so I only have to wash my underwear like once every 2 months. So it's great.
I guess I'm the crazy one. I have like honestly probably under 10 pairs of underwear.
Oh my god!
I'm a rotation. I'm a rotation guy. There's holes. They're old. I probably should.
14 pairs. Like if I the last trip I went on before COVID happened, I packed 14 pairs of underwear just in case. You never know. And
you never know.
Yeah, you never know. What if you shit your pants 3 times? I've done that.
So you need 4 pair. That's just usually
no. Time in the same day.
I bring like 3 pairs per day because like I might want to go to the gym. I might go like shoot something after. Like I need a fresh pair of underwear for every time I change.
Get the ball
Also,
wiped.
this week, TLDR, you guys, Joe, listen, you're part of the podcast sphere with us all now. Where did you guys? I know it was Gambit, and what else were you guys talking about?
I did. What the hell did I do last week? Oh, I did the
Great.
book Die. It was a great book.
Me.
Yep.
Did you spoil it?
I did not. I had 3 weeks spoiler free. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Obviously.
And, go ahead.
No. I was going to say, you also are a big streamer. What are we streaming right now? What's the haps?
I did a little Tony Hawk and Call of Duty last night. Been on a bit of a heater. Got a couple of wins in the past couple of days, so we're flying high. And I'm probably going to, as we get into October, probably start to play some spooky stuff. Maybe finish The Last of Us, and we're just having a ball, baby.
I did say I wanted something spooky.
Yeah, we're all getting spooky. Now, Mac, a quiet Twitcher, as well. Mac, what are you playing right now?
So I'm playing a lot of Madden, a lot of PGA, and so I haven't found the time yet to buy Tony Hawk because I'm having a hard time. I can't balance games like a lot of these guys. Like I can play 2, maybe 3 games max, and then if I get sick of a game, I'll buy another game. So I got a couple right now.
Okay, I know Shime has been golfing a lot. He's been on the PGA. I think Davey has been as well, right? Isn't that like the thing those guys have been doing?
Davey does some PGA.
And Shime was talking about this game, and Dork talked about it this week too. Yeah, sounds interesting. And I like that you can play on your phone with PC players.
Yeah,
so I think I might try that.
Like murder, There's been murder in Savannah.
Murder.
And last thing here, probably, I don't know, we usually ramble on, but we're having the DSG golf outing Sunday. I think there is probably a few Mac and Goos before that happens, but I'm excited for it. I don't know what people think about doing content beforehand or during it, but I think that could be hilarious. For sure. I think we should definitely pick the names for the foursomes out of a hat.
I don't want to be paired with Goo. He's for sure going to be the worst golfer.
Yeah, but sometimes it's fun to play with a bad golfer, especially if we're all just out there having fun. And plus, we'll stick him in the last group, so that way he's not holding a ton of people up.
Right.
So I think that will be a lot of fun. So was it your idea, Joe, or was it Wes's? It was a great idea.
For the golf outing, I think it was Wes's. And,
Wes and Davey had kind of talked about it, and Wes has really grabbed the bull by horns.
There we go.
Grab the ball by the horn.
Grabbing the bull by the horn.
Grab the stack by the balls, and he's really set it up. So credit to him.
Get a good look at a butcher by sticking your head up the bull's ass.
No, wait.
No, it's got to be your bull, right?
Well, that's it for this episode. You guys enjoy the golf. I am not a golfer, but there may be a chance I may make an appearance. We'll find out. But there's a big tease for it. That'll really get the kids excited. Next week, Bill, we're only down to the last 2 episodes on our sweeps. You mentioned 2 gentlemen that'll be joining us next week. It will be our one-hit wonder draft with Wes of Change My Mind and Davey of the Dork Podcast. So that one I think is going to be very
contentious. I think it's going to be
your definitions down.
I will go to my grave, by the way, on that. I never said that other one was a draft. It just happened to be that it went that way.
I block out a lot of stuff. A lot of people say I had bad reading comprehension too, because I was coming up with backups for picks, and I was really nervous during all the picks. And then when I heard you pick the same producer as Mac, I was like, what are we doing?
Well, I asked the question in our chat, and Rossi responded, yeah, that's fine. I was like, all right. So I'm just going to take, regardless if these guys take, I'm going to take whoever's here.
The criticism is still 100% valuable, because why would we have 2? And literally, it's just one thing. Because in my head, I'm like,
there wasn't a ton of crossover though. As much shit as you got, I think we had the same producer, and then me and Davey both had to roll, and that was really it.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, we'll come back to it. I think that was an interesting podcast. There's other things we could do. One thing I'm definitely popping off an idea here is, you talk about Taco Bell or certain items. We could tier list just restaurant items. What are the ones from top 4?
Yeah, I think a great maybe get one person from every podcast, and we just do the
fuck. We just fuck.
No, the appetizers. You rank appetizers the best restaurant appetizers. Because I'm a passionate person about appetizers.
Okay, but yeah, next week we'll do the one-hit wonder draft. Then we'll wrap up this month with our friends over at the Jobber Knocker with wrestling finishing moves tier. So that one should be interesting as well, especially with doing tiers with multiple people. That's going to be get there. Yes. Dr. Joe, where can the fine folks find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Dr. Joe Gilmore, and they can also find me on Twitch at backcracker_Dr. Joe.
Do you send nudes?
I have taken my top off a few times.
Okay, fair enough. Mac, how about yourself?
I am at Fleetwood JMac, as this says right here. Our podcast, Mac & Goo. That's Mac Shift 7 Goo. You can find us anywhere podcasts are found.
Love it. Also, Mackie, I'm sorry, Joe, you didn't even really replug your little
podcast.
Yeah, with
I'm new to this. I'm new to
poser.
So Nick is the real plugger,
prick.
if you will.
He's a real prick.
So my quarterback, Fryer, and I, we have a show, TLDR, Thursday nights on my Twitch stream, in which we talk about comics.
Yeah, I will say, like, I'm not a big comic guy. When I was a kid, I was, but I love, like, the diversity this little hashtag Dorshare Gooniverse is getting, like, adding in that stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of comic-like related stuff throughout, the news dumps and everything. So I think, diversifying is great, and especially stuff that's kind of like nichier, if you would. So I think it's great. I'm glad you guys are doing that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're just trying to talk about books that we think a lot of people might be interested in, and hopefully they decide to pick them up.
There you go. All right, gentlemen, that's it for this episode. Bill will, if you put a poll in this one, I'm gonna punch myself in the nuts. It was supposed to be.
No. But I am gonna call my shot right now. If you honestly judge the One Hit Wonders draft, I have a strategy for it. I'm gonna win. I think I should have won, or me and Keith should have finished 1-2 in the best on the Office episode.
No, that was a bullcrap poll. There was supposed to be no poll. We said it several times throughout the episode. I wake up the next day. It's a one-day poll, and the people probably didn't even hear it. They were just clicking names.
I got the poll out of crawl space like it was fucking Festivus, and I put it up there because Tinsel is very distracting to me. So I really thought I was good in that. Like the fact that Fryer, he just finished high in that poll because he was so ridiculous. Like I was
this close to getting them there. Oh,
I loved immediately he was backed in a corner and he was like a rabid animal. He just started attacking.
I will say this, and this is all in funny games. He went from attack rabid 40 minutes. He was off the podcast, like as if he wasn't there. And then he comes back at the end, all like, "You guys are picking on me." I'm like, dude, I haven't heard from you in literally 30 minutes.
Well, my point is we talked about his Michael Scott comment on News Dump last week. Yep. And I think, and maybe you guys might disagree, but I don't think it's possible to like the show if you don't like Michael Scott.
You can't. And it's the whole show. I mean, he's probably going to love seasons 8 and 9, which are.
That's what I said. That's where he should start.
I'm too early into it to say. Like I said, this beginning of season 3 has given me some uncomfortable vibes. But I think I might have to do like small mini things on these episodes. Because when you're watching for the first time, like knowing how much love people have for it's very interesting. Like the Angela character has gone from like a side piece to like she's like a main character in the beginning of season 3. So
I think 3 and 4 are the two best seasons. A lot of people love season 2, but to me, 3 and 4 are the two best.
I might be with you there because I've been rewatching a lot of season 4 just today. But like once they marry the Office groups together and Andy Bernard is in his prime, wow! I mean, he has some of the best episodes ever.
I used to keep a tally. Bill today, so that means you've had fast food, you've watched all of season 4 of The Office, and you freaking banged out work. And I actually am not calling you a liar. I believe you.
Banged out a couple of other things.
I'm sure he did. I don't know what he's doing right now. Is he quitting?
Those are scratch marks from whoever was visiting.
Oh yeah. I got The Office up right now. I was watching.
Those are the size of the hoops.
I tell you, that's going to do it for us here. I want to thank Mac and Dr. Joe for joining us on behalf of Bill. We'll catch you all next week. Frank says hi.